That's the only thing about that countdown. It just kind of just stops.
Stops quite abruptly. Do you know what? I've gotten used to a minute countdown as well. When I go live on mine, it's like I've given myself a minute because I usually end up faffing about and like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
when I do cup of ketchup and cards, it's a minute one. I ought to, but it's silent, so I have to have background music playing and time it just right. Whereas that one, but you just think it would fade out a bit, wouldn't you? But anyway, hi.
Hey everybody, how are we all doing? Let's see. Will we say some hellos first, and then we can kick off?
Yeah, let's do that.
So, hang on. Actually, I can do that with the comment screen. So we've got the lovely Deanna's here. Hi, Deanne. Oh, she says how I wish I could be here for this. So that implies that she's not actually here. Marilyn's Tarot Take says, hello, Chris and Simon. I am at work, so hopefully I can catch most of this. Jazzy Frazzle. That's a nice name. Linda, Twiggelina, and I'm useless at this. Judith. Hi, Judith. How you doing? Moran from Starseed Tarot's here. Hi, Moran. How are you? Rachel's here. Jen's here. Tina is here. Ferdiad's here. Hey, Ferdiad. Marita, how you doing? Sharong, or is it Sharon G? Sharon G or Sharong? Let me know. Flower Beauty, how you doing? Alder Moon. Nikki. Lily Rose. Roman from Goldmund XY. Celtic Peddler. Why are you laughing?
Because you're clicking that fast, they're not even having a chance to.
Oh, they're not? Right, I'll stop that then. David's here. Hi, David. How you doing?
Hi, David.
And Iris IP4EP. Hi, Iris. How you doing? And Cheryl from Oneness Emporium is here as well.
Isn't it so much better as well that everybody's together? I might stop even looking at this because this is mine started with Jazzy Frazzle and yours started with that. So putting them all in one place now is so much better.
Definitely. Do you know what might be good? I don't know whether this is something that you can do on EV Mux, but I know some streaming platforms let you put the comments on the side of the screen, which means that, because obviously if someone's in my live, then they're probably just seen my the comments on my side, and then vice versa with your side. So if the comments are on the screen, it means everybody's seen all the comments. So that's maybe something we could work out if that can be done. If you want.
Yeah, I've never known it, but then I'm not. Look at the hassle I had over the weekend.
Simon pretty much deleted everything for his EV Mux, everyone.
I lost Cup of Ketchup and Cards, which I've still got to build up. I lost Spotlight the day of going live for Spotlight, so I was in blind panic. Like, I've got to create it all again. EV Mux is so different to StreamYard. You create a project, and then within your project, you create your live streams linked to that project. But I just got everything in one because, and then when I tried to collaborate with Chris, I realized that by collaborating with him, every time we do Cup of Ketchup and Cards and Spotlight, and it will also stream to Chris's channel. So I was like, I'll just delete that I've set up, but it deleted everything off EV Mux. So, but anyway, doesn't matter.
I know, we live and learn, don't we? At least now you know a lot more about how it works. That's what I always learn from my fuck-ups, so I do.
Yeah, that's the best way, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's lovely to see everyone here. So my name's Chris. I'm from a channel called Elemental Cartomancy, and this is my very good friend Simon from the Hermit's Cave. And this is a wee bit of a collaboration, Throwback Thursday. So does as it says on the Thursday. and we are throwing back to an old deck. So we're trying to stick to decks that are at least, is it 3 years old, we said, Simon?
Yeah.
And we'll basically, it's almost like doing a bit of a walkthrough or a bit of a review of it after, after we've had it and we've had the chance to work with it and stuff. So we're getting to kind of pull out a lot of old decks that you might not have seen in a while. And it's given us, Simon and I, the chance to work with some older beloved decks that we maybe wouldn't necessarily have pulled out had it not been for Throwback. So it's a great wee collaboration, and I'm glad that we're back doing it because we've not done this in a wee while, have we?
Well, yeah, we was talking, weren't we? And I can never get over the fact how quickly time goes. And Chris was like, I think it was 2024, and I was like, no, it can't have been. Then I went back through my history, and it's almost a year and a half. It's almost 18 months since we did it. And
Yeah,
there was no particular reason why it stopped. We'd done the month before, and we said what deck was going to be doing the month after, and then for whatever reason we couldn't do that one, and life then just got in the way.
yeah,
And we've been saying for the last 18 months we must sort out a throwback.
yeah,
Uh, but our new resolve is to keep it going, and we've already planned at least a year's worth of
yeah,
content by doing
yeah,
one a month. And I think just to say as well, because people might say, well, why 3 years? The only reason I did that was when I first did this, which was, I think, a few, maybe just after lockdown, I did a throwback Thursday on Everyday Enchantment, and Poppy Palin, she was, with us then, and she was in the live, and she said, wow, I can't believe my deck is already considered a throwback. And I think it was just at the 3 year point. And I remember thinking or saying, well, it's 3 years old. And then I thought, yeah, what length of time needs to pass before we can consider something as a throwback? And we
yeah,
just kind of agreed, didn't we, that our kind of barometer for that would be 3 years. But
yeah. I think 3 years is a good, like, see, in this day and age when there's decks flying out of the woodwork every 5 minutes. I think 3 years worth of decks is a proper throwback, isn't it?
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I think 3 years is a good amount of time. So the deck that we're going to be throwing back to this month, and I think we kind of agreed that we wanted to kick it back off with a bang. We wanted to go with a deck that we both really when we started doing this together, we started with Silla Conway's
Shimmering Veil.
Shimmering Veil. Yeah, I've always got to look round at the shelf, and then it's not where I expected it to be. Shimmering Veil Tarot. So we started this off with a deck that we both, really love, and we wanted to kind of kick it back off in the same way. So we're doing Tarot of the Holy Spectrum by Chase Voorhees, which Simon is brandishing for us now.
Yeah, I this deck, it's in my opinion, one of the best tarot decks ever. It was a gift. I mean, it has been out longer than 3 years. It's been out, is it 5 years? 2021.
2020 is when he first made it and started sending out copies for review. So
Yeah, so over 5 years. But this was a gift from somebody very special to me as a birthday gift a couple of years ago. And it was one that I'd wanted, I think, ever since you showed it, Chris. I think that's where I first saw it. And I was like, that deck is amazing. But of course, it was from overseas. And I think when I tried to get it after seeing it on yours, they weren't shipping to the UK. I think that was the issue at the time, wasn't it? And I
I
was like,
remember that. Yeah,
but my lovely Dee Dee gifted me their copy for a birthday present because they knew how much I loved it, and it's an incredible deck.
yeah. So Simon, you've got the first edition, haven't you?
Yes,
and I've got the second edition, so there'll be some differences across our two decks. So there will.
I didn't realise that. I thought
Yeah.
yours was the first edition. So yours got the silver backs?
No. So mine's is black backs, but they. So I think I said he Chase for his. I'm sure their pronouns are they them. Just from
Okay.
trying to find out some information about them. I can't be absolutely sure, but on their website, I'm sure it refers to them as they them. So anyway, they made the first edition, which is your edition, and that was in 2020. That came out. 2021 was when the second edition, which is the edition that I've got, was released, and there was some cards that have been changed. And then the one with the silver backs is the Infinity edition.
Yeah.
So that's the one that you're referring to. So I'm just realising I'm going through your bit, Simon. The production and the deck information. But yeah, so we've got slightly different versions of this deck, so that will be exciting to see.
I didn't realise that, or if I did, I'd certainly forgotten. And there's another version out now, which is on my ever increasing indie wish list. I don't think. I mean, if I'd ever seen it in a shop, I would have picked it up. But I don't think I was that enamoured by the mirrored back one because it was glossy and I wasn't sure. I could just imagine me kind of having like greasy fingerprints all over that mirrored back and it driving me insane.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen of the newest edition, I quite like it. And again, there's been even more changes. But
yeah, and there's a load of different versions. I think like different colours.
Okay. Sure. Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's been messed up. Yeah, so in terms of production quality, is yours the same? Is it in a 2-part box?
No, magnetic. Mine's just magnetic.
Right. Yeah, so that's the difference. So mine has this holographic foiled infinity symbol. Yours is the same.
Yeah.
Plain box. And this is what one of the things I love about the deck as well is the minimalism to it. You know, I love the black backs. I think, was it the original Dreams of Gaia was a black backed deck as well, and I always wanted to get that version. Yeah, but mine is like this, and it's got on the inside it says Tower of the Holy Spectrum, and then it's got created by Chase for his first edition. Oh god, the font is tiny. I'll get my trusted magnifying glass. 2020, yeah.
Yeah, similar.
That's really cool. Yeah. And then, I mean, it's self-published, isn't it? It's an independent deck. I am really surprised that it hasn't been picked up mass market. But then I was talking to Cheryl when we met up recently, and I was on about a couple of decks, and I said to her, I'm really surprised with all the hype about that deck, it's not been picked up for mass market release. And she said, sometimes creators don't want it to go mass market. You know, we assume, don't we? Oh, this is amazing deck. It's bound to be picked up. And that made me think about all the decks that creators might have said, no, actually, you know, I don't want it to go mass market. Because I have heard about, and Poppy Palin, talking of which, used to say that she felt like she'd sold her soul sometimes because what she got back wasn't enough to pay her rent. You know, work. So
you lose the rights to certain things when you go mass market. I know that's why Bennabelle Wen's always kept her decks indie, because she wants to keep everything like.
Yeah. And sometimes they want you to make changes that you're not prepared to make as well, you know. So it's to retain that artistic integrity, isn't it? So actually, I created it this way, and I'm not prepared to change it just to please a certain publisher. So but it's there's no guidebook. Did yours come with a guidebook? I'm saying there's no guidebook. I mean, And from what I understand, digging back into far memory, was that I think that was a conscious decision of the creator not to include a guidebook, because the intention was for you to sit with the images. And these images are not to jump ahead, they're really powerful anyway, and they do story tell, I find, really, really well. So therefore, having a guidebook would give you, and I like that in a lot of cases, the artist's kind of vision for the deck. But the intention behind this was that you sit with the images and they relay your story. So it encourages that sort of intuitive reading. The cardstock is delicious. I think it's lovely. It's matte. It's got a really nice core. I want to say like probably 330 GSM as a guess. I don't think it's as thick as 350, but it's got this really lovely, soft, smooth, matte, high quality cardstock. As Chris mentioned, the backs are plain black. Again, when I was talking about fingerprints, you might put your fingerprint and but within seconds it disappears. So they don't scuff the backs. Mine, I've got this protective card as well. Mine has scuffed a little bit on the edges. I don't know if you've seen, because that's through usage. But it's nothing major. It's just that, and I can't remember if it came edged or I edged it.
It came, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure it came edged.
I
It's
think
beautiful matte black edges, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like the black edging you'd get if you used a Sharpie yourself.
Yeah.
It's nice. Has yours got any signs of wear on it?
Let me just look and see. I mean, a little bit, but it's barely noticeable. And considering I riffle shuffle the absolute hell out of this deck, like, I think it's actually stood the test of time really well.
Yeah.
I've read for others with this deck. This isn't just a personal deck for me. I've actually had this, like, reading for other people in person. So yeah, it's stood the test. It's lasted very well.
Yeah, and just to say as well, the black backs, again, doing research and digging back into, like I say, far memory, the black backs were to give you, well, two things really. So when the cards are laid down, is to represent the void, but also the deck is called Tarot of the Holy Spectrum, and they say, don't they, that black is the absence of all color, white is the inclusion of all colors. So it is that creating a void-like feel when the cards are laid face down. Yeah, and what struck me about this deck was the fact that when it was released, it just felt really bold and really different to anything that I've got in my collection.
Yeah.
And just being really, really enamored with it before we jump on ahead into kind of how we work with the deck and our thoughts about the deck. Is there anything else you want to say about production, Chris?
Not really, no. I do view the lack of book as a wee bit of a drawback. There's certainly some cards that I would have liked to have read what on earth I'm looking at when I look at them. Do a ride shuffle? By ride shuffle, do you mean riffle shuffle? Because if so, then yeah, I riffle shuffle the absolute hell out of my decks. So I do. Yeah, riffle. Aye. Yeah, I do, Moran. There's no other way. It's got to be riffle shuffled in my book. So yeah, I would have liked a book. I cannot understand the theory behind it, but I would have liked a book, I think.
Yeah, and Sometimes the creators will do a separate guidebook that you can buy, don't they? Or perhaps even a PDF that you can download. I
Yeah,
don't know if that was available with any other editions. 'Cause I've not looked into it
I
that
don't
much.
think so. I remember looking at the time and I couldn't find anything.
I mean, so she can confirm you riffle like a demon.
I taught Marion to riffle shuffle.
You need to teach me how to riffle shuffle.
I know, I know. When we finally meet Simon, that's obviously first on the agenda. Um, so yeah, our history with the deck then, yeah.
Yeah. So do you
So
want to start?
sure. I've had my copy for about 5 years. I got mine in 2021, or at least I'm pretty sure it was in 2021. Um, I I work with it, so it's a, as you will see when we look at some cards, it's quite Rider-Waite Smith. You know, it's in keeping with the Rider-Waite Smith tradition. So to be honest, I use it like I would use any Rider-Waite Smith deck. I use it for personal readings. I use it for reading for other people. And in terms of the types of readings, it's you know, it does everything. You know, any type of reading you want to do, this deck is good for it in my book. Um, the kind of that void effect, and it's not just like the backs. It's like, so the front of the cards has this kind of a, like, it's like a painting on black canvas. Do you know what I mean? It's like it started as black and the black was drawn on top of, and they all kind of or most of the cards have that feel to them. And when they don't, it feels dead intentional. Um, so it does what it needs to do in terms of being dark and, you know, shadowy. But also, because it's such a colourful deck, it's Tarot of the Holy Spectrum for a reason. It's also very colourful and bold and bright, and so I feel as though it kind of you know, it's really good for all types of readings. Do you find the same, or do you use it for something particular?
Um, I mean, I think it lends itself to things like shadow work and introspection. But to be honest, I've never picked this deck up for that. I do find it quite intuitive. You know, if it's interesting that you mentioned it's kind of RWS, and it is, but I think it's different enough that it steps away from that, particularly in some of the minors. I think, was it one of the wands cards? You have your let me have a look. You have like your traditional 3 of Wands. Can't even find the wands now, but then the 4 of Wands is a real sort of departure from that, and you know,
Yeah,
the 2 of Wands on the boat kind of reminds me like the 6 of Swords and things like that. But yeah, I think really, I mean, I've had it for 2.5 years. Got it for my birthday in 2024. I took it with me to Glastonbury, and Sandra's in the chat, and she'll attest to this. This deck really does depict the scene, literally, of what's going to happen in that day. It's spooky how you'll know what it's like. You might look at your cards in the morning and you think, oh, I've got an idea of things to look out for. And then at the end of the night, you'll look back and you kind of, yeah, that kind of could mean that. And this was like showing images of us, you know, walking off down this great big long path on the day that we got lost in the middle of the countryside. And Sandra and I was just blown away because I took another deck as well that I was using for my personal readings, my 3 card pull. But we would pull one card from this and put it on display on our little altar in the
yeah,
cottage. And when we come back, every time we looked at that card, and it was like, oh my god, that's like a pictorial reference of something that had happened that day, and
yeah,
it really spooked us. But that deck is great for this. So I use it for kind of like emotional insight. I have used it for intuitive readings. But I just love to lay down 3 or 4 cards and look at the narrative that is
Yeah.
happening in front of me, because it just lends itself so well to that. And interesting that it was talking about what I love about this deck, because it's the Holy Spectrum. All of the major Arcana cards are, in the main, predominantly either black or white with splashes of colour. And then you go into the minors, and then it just expands out, doesn't it, with these beautiful
Yeah.
kind of colour prints.
That's it.
That's it's incredible.
And the colours go in order when you look at them in sequence. It's like Roy G. Biv. It goes in the colour, the order of the rainbow, which I think is a really cool touch.
Sandra said, "Oh, it's amazing. That's why I'd love to get it." And yeah, totally was. It was spooky. I always, yeah, it's a deep deck, but I just find it mind blowing when I've worked with it and done readings with it. That's the two words that come to mind, is just mind blowing.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's funny how, like, I mean, we've been reading tarot for, gosh, like 30 years. Between us, probably about 60 years if we add it up. And tarot can still spook us, and it can still be like, oh my God, like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's funny how it does that, isn't it?
It is, because, I mean, we both love the tarot, we appreciate the tarot. But if I can only speak for myself, but if I'm totally honest, it's not that I get jaded, but I don't want the tarot to become mundane, but doing readings every day and reflections every day, and writing in my tracker and thoughts on the tarot every day, sometimes it can become a bit staid, like, oh, I've got to do my card pull, and I might not be as inspired. But then a deck like this comes along, and it gives you that kick again, and that burst of enthusiasm, and that sort of passion for tarot again. So
Yeah.
I think it's great that we've got older decks, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. But I think it's also important that new decks still come out, because every deck will speak to somebody somewhere in the way that perhaps this tarot deck speaks to me, and
Yeah,
gives me that kind of excitement again to work with it.
definitely. Okay, so how many favourites have you got? Have you picked out some favourites?
Do you know, I thought earlier I should really sit and go through it, but I thought, because I know the deck so well, I'll just kind of go through, and I'll hold up some cards and just
Right.
talk about them. And we always do like least favorites. That is almost impossible. However, I'm going to do that first, because it's only one, and it's not a major issue, but one card I just catches me out every time is the 10 of Pentacles,
Right.
because
That's funny.
I see it as the 10 of Cups, even though they've got
Oh,
Pentacles on the cups. And when I sat last night, and put this deck in order ready for tonight,
yeah.
when I got to my cups, I thought, I was like,
2 cups.
yeah, or whichever one. I'm like, I'm a card missing. I'm a card missing. And then I thought to myself, it's that bloody 10 of Cups, 10
Yeah.
of Pentacles.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I hadn't actually seen it like that before, to be fair, but I can totally see what you mean.
Yeah.
I'll do my least favourites as well. It's not so much least favourites, it's just I don't really. Well, maybe they are kind of least favourites. Funnily enough, though, I think that these might be cards that have changed from your edition to mine. So I think your editions of these cards might look different from mine. So my key 12 isn't the hanged one; it's the tethered one. So let me just. So this is my key 12 here. Put a bit of light on. Yeah. So I far prefer your hanged one to this. So
Okay.
I just find it
Let me put you on
unusual.
big. So I want to have a close up look at that. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
Mm,
That's
yeah,
kind of that gives me oh, what's that phenomenon called? Not lucid dreaming, but when you leave your body during sleep mode and astral.
astral projection.
Yes, gives me that vibe.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I don't really know if it gives me hanged one vibes, like Arcanum 12 vibes, but it's a cool card, don't get me wrong. I think I would have just preferred to if they hadn't changed it.
Yeah, with this one, you see, she's even though clearly she's that way because
Yeah,
the hair and the position and everything.
yeah,
The card is in this upright position.
yeah. See, even that I think is really, really cool and a really
Yeah,
interesting choice.
and it is because I always turn when I'm doing walkthroughs or looking at a deck for the first time. When I get to the hanged one, I always turn it round to have a look at the facial expression.
Yeah,
But that's done it for me.
cool. And then my other one, just zooming this in a smidge. My other one is my Temperance card. Now I don't know if yours is the same or if yours looks different from mine. Um, but yeah, see again, I far prefer the first one. There's the traditional Temperance. I just had, there's not really much happening here. I don't feel. Um, it's just like,
It's the similar design again, isn't it? The card you just showed,
yeah,
physical and the spiritual,
yeah,
physical or so. Yeah, that's see see. This is now where I agree with you about how a guidebook would be useful because I wonder why those choices were made to switch them out, and I
yeah.
wonder what they've done with later editions, and why not bring them out with both versions in so that you can make that choice.
Yeah, this is true, especially when there's a blank card. Like there's
Yeah.
a blank card with nothing on the front. So there is, that could have been an alternative hanged one, tethered one, temperance, whatever. Um, and this is these two cards are part of the reason why I'm saying a guidebook would have been great. That was the reason that I was going in search of one, an online one. Um, so yeah, those are my, to call them my thing, my least favourite, or the ones that maybe confuse me the most. But it was just those two. I've got like 20 here that that are my favourites that I do like.
Well, I can see that you've chose the High Priestess.
Yes, I have. um, so
I'm
yeah.
in, I'm intrigued to hear um, your thoughts on the High Priestess.
So for me, the High Priestess is mystery. It's the kind of the power in saying nothing sometimes or doing nothing, or it's like that, how powerful it can be to be passive. Um, a lot of the time, the High Priestess appears remote, she appears cold. If you're not paying attention, you can miss her. And that's exactly what what is happening here. Like she is there, but you'll need to look for her. It's very faint, and the only thing that does stand out is the pomegranate,
Mm.
which is this beautiful symbol of femininity. Of I always think of the Persephone story when it comes to the pomegranate. Um, so yeah, I love it. I think it's beautiful.
And it's the contrast as well, isn't it? Of because we've gone from very very dark
Yeah,
colours of dark backgrounds of the Fool and the Magician, and then this brilliant white with a very ethereal outline of the High Priestess, but then the contrast of that blood red pomegranate that just
yeah,
you're drawn to it straight away, aren't you? As soon as you turn it
Yeah,
over, you're like,
yeah,
oh, yeah, yeah, it's a powerful card.
definitely. What about you? What was your? Did you have any other favourites around about High Priestess?
So many. I love the Magician. I think the Magician is an incredible card. I love that she's closed-eyed, really in her power. Look at her hands with the tools. The infinity, just bringing in the energy from the universe. She's like a tool, and connecting with her tools, I think is beautiful. I love the Empress.
Yeah.
Just stunning. I mean, I could show every card. Do jump in because I'll just sit here going, "Why I love it." So if you've got, you said 20. If I
Yeah.
catch up with you, then the Lovers,
Okay.
just it kind of there's a modern version of this with oh my gosh, is it the one I used to refer to as the protest deck, the otherworld tarot, next world tarot,
Next world, it might be. Yeah.
where she's facing a mirror.
Right. Okay.
And I just love that, because the Lovers is my life path card, and I remember always thinking, oh, of all the cards, but the Lovers isn't necessarily about sexual relationships or romantic partnerships, but it starts with yourself, doesn't it? It starts with that relationship that you're building with yourself.
Yeah. My issue with that lovers card is, for me, the lovers is just as much about choice as it is about like love, harmony, and relationships. And I can see the harmony, definitely the harmony in that. I can get a certain kind of a self love from it, but it's the choice bit that I feel like it's maybe not doesn't come through as strongly. I feel people with um, life path lovers is quite often they're people who they get to a certain point in their life of doing things the way that they've been kind of taught to, or the way they've been told they should do, and then they go in a different direction. They make a completely different choice. Do you know what I mean? They choose to go with their heart instead of going with what they feel their obligation is or what they feel they should do. You know, so I find people with life path six. It's not. I don't usually view it as somebody who's like off shagging everybody. I usually view it as someone who's like kind of you can see a certain turning point in their life where they've chosen themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, that to me is life path six. But
I was just
yeah,
looking at comments here about it being like a modern art, but nothing to say. See, just in response to that, for me, this deck, I do feel that it's a balance between um, art or modern art and interpretation. And for me, the cards offer a really strong vibe with evocative symbolism that feels powerful but not overwhelming. And that's what I really love about it, because I'm not a fan of, in the main, modern art. If I go to an art gallery, I don't tend to like to go to modern art
right.
galleries. Yeah. Um, but this deck is more than just modern art for me. It's evocative, it's powerful without being overwhelming. I'm not overwhelmed by this deck, and I don't
Yeah.
feel that I have to necessarily pick it apart and then try and interpret it. I get the intuitive hits from it.
Hmm.
It doesn't require me to overthink it. Does that
Yeah,
make any sense?
it does. Yeah, absolutely. Um, my next one is the comes next. So mine's is the Chariot.
Yeah, that gives me
Um,
slow holler vibes.
I don't have that deck.
All right. I don't anymore.
So I love the car's obviously being powered by her will, by her sheer willpower. Uh, and yeah, I just like you get a sense of the speed as well, the speed and momentum of it because of these lines on the ground. Um, and you can see that she's like there's this kind of a faint outline of a person that she kind of driving towards that might actually be pointing the way, pointing in a certain direction. So I just think it's a really interesting interpretation of the chariot, or representation of it, rather.
That's really interesting because I always saw that outline of a figure was almost like saying stop, and I used to think why would that be the case? Because it almost looks like she's driving straight towards them, and the hand out. It kind of gave me the impression that it was saying, "Whoa, slow down." You
Right.
know, 'cause sometimes the chariot is about, particularly traditionally, holding onto the reins and staying on course, isn't it? And not being. So it's interesting that you see it as pointing, because now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, yeah, actually, it could be directional. There's one option for you as a direction to go in.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yep. I've got strength too, which comes next. I just
Yeah,
think that's a
I've
really
got strength. Beautiful.
that is, isn't it?
And
I don't know.
it's so gentle, isn't it? Just a face is close up,
Yeah.
and just that gentle touch. There's no forcefulness or anything. It's just peaceful and beautiful. Try and get it close up so you can see it. It's just adorable.
Yeah. It is. Right, I skip a few. I've got a funny feeling that you're going to have the Hermit because you always have the Hermit.
I always have the Hermit, but I haven't signalled it out. Oh, I've dropped it.
Oh,
I don't want to wheel over it.
oh dear.
It is. I mean, it's a beautiful Hermit card, but it doesn't blow my socks off. I think it's nice. It's powerful. But I really like the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune for me in tarot decks is kind of my meh card. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody seems to. Well, not say nobody, but it's very few and far between where there's a Wheel of Fortune card that really stands out. But I love the simplicity of this. I love that it's got the elements represented. And, we're often seeing the wheel go around and people falling off or creatures falling off.
Yeah.
And I just think it's really simple, but really, really stunning. She's basking in the sun at the top.
She is. I do have the next card. I do have Justice. It's just something about this Justice card. The way that the hood is right up and over the face. It's very simple, but at the same time, I just think it's really a really beautiful card. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say. I think it just really appeals to me visually.
Yeah. Have you got Death?
Yep, I do.
Death is incredible in this. There's
Yeah.
so much depth in that.
Yep. Temperance was one of the ones I talked about before. Now, I do have the Devil, but my Devil is very different. Well, it was quite different from yours, I think, because mine says all these words on it.
Yes. Whereas mine is just a black background.
Yeah.
Look, it's almost like a smoky grey, actually, rather than a deep black. I don't know if that's picking up. It kind of gets the sense that it was in like a bar or something with a smoky bar.
Yep. I do really like the change here. I think that's really cool, and it's powerful when it comes up for somebody. See, if you're reading for someone else, you don't need to sit and explain this devil card to them. You know, you don't need to sit and explain that it's not about the actual devil or anything. Like, that comes up and people relate to it right away. So
It's those little voices in our heads that stop us, that keep us chained and bound, isn't it?
yep, that's it. That's it exactly. Let's see. I've got the star.
Yeah.
Just a real sense of peace. Oh.
No, it's all right. I didn't think you'd got stars in the sky, but you have. I was like, oh, is yours plain black? But no, it's not.
No, it's just I think it's just the way the light's hitting the card.
Yeah, a light on that. I might try and turn away. That's made it worse.
I love how you get a real sense. So for me, I always think, right, well, the star comes right after the tower. So to me, the two are intrinsically linked. Like, you can't see the star card without appreciating that someone's probably just been through the tower, and the stars, them healing and coming out the other end of that. And you do get a real sense of that in this card, I feel. Like, you can see that they've had enough, but there is a certain sense of peace and, like, yeah, I just really like it.
What do you think to the moon?
Let me see. Oh, right, yeah. So it's interesting. I didn't pick it as one of my favourites. It's given a different vibe than what moon cards usually do for me, if I'm honest. I see this as being choice. Like, you've got the choice of which path to take.
We've got three here, haven't we?
Yeah. And that's, that's different from, it just doesn't give me usual moon vibes, put it that way. It's not always necessarily a bad thing, but it's, it is what it is, isn't it? What do you think?
It just intrigues me. Again, she's there and she's taking her time. She's looking at the options in front of her, and there are three paths, but I'm just intrigued by the animals that are at the end of these. What do you call them? Jetties.
Right.
And it's like, I guess there are people who know about animal symbolism and things like that, but it just intrigues me that we've got the stag, we've got the wolf, and we've got a horse.
Yeah.
At the end of each path and the end of each jetty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I skipped the sun. Now, my 20 is called Awakening, and it looks like this. I'm not sure if you get the same, or does yours look different? Yours looks very red.
Very red?
Yeah, is yours red or orange? The kind of a...
No, it's blood red.
Oh, right. Oh, mine's are orange. So they are.
Ah.
Which is interesting.
I think it's brilliant that everybody is blindfolded, but they look like they're dead, don't they? And they're blindfolded, and she's arising and taking the blindfold off.
Yeah.
Awakening.
Yeah.
Was it the Matrix, where everybody's in these kind of like pods?
Yep.
And the life is just kind of, they're experiencing it just in the brain, in the mind. And then she's waking up. Everybody else is still there with their blindfolds on, and she's awake. She's, woken.
Yeah. Whenever I'm explaining the judgment card to, like, people, I always say, right, have you seen the Matrix film? Judgment is being unplugged from the Matrix. You suddenly realise that, or have that sudden epiphany, or you suddenly realise that things just weren't what you thought they were. That's judgment. So this This is probably like one of my favourite judgment cards of all time, just because it lends itself so well to that explanation.
Yeah, brilliant.
That was all my majors. I'm on to my suits now.
Okay. I just wanted to say as well, Sandra, do you remember that one? That was one of the cards that we pulled, and we felt like to go and find this huge monolith of a tree. We walked for an infinity.
Your world card is different from mine.
The
That's
world
mine
card.
there. Yeah, the one you just held up. That's my film
Oh,
one.
oh, I like that. I mean, I like this for personal reasons, but I like that. That kind of completes the journey through the major arcana, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. What suit do you want to do first?
I'm on cups,
Cool.
but I can be on any.
I've got cups here. I remembered that you were a cups comes first kind of guy, so I put my cups first.
I love that the cups tends to be the same people. Have you noticed if you look at the hair?
Yeah.
So we've got these kind of with the hair all the way through. Again, we're going through those colours.
Yeah. This
I
was
love the
4
5.
was a particular favourite for mine because he's consciously saying no to the extra cup. So it's
Yeah,
not like, oh, he's just bored that he's not realising it's there. It's like in this particular card, it's like no, he does realise it's there, and he's deliberately saying no to it. Or you could actually like see because it's got this spark and it's making it look sharp, and it looks as though he's cut himself.
yeah.
So it looks as though he's actually been maybe injured by the cup, and he's saying no, no, thank you. So I think that's really cool. It gives a wee bit of a different feel to the 4 of Cups for me.
Or look what too much drink can do. I think the 5 is a very powerful card. I love the depth of this card. Yeah, beautiful.
I think that about the 7.
Oh, you're
Sorry,
not having the
I'm
6.
jumping ahead.
The 6 is, because the 6 is kind of looking back, nostalgia. I love that there's the older person holding a photograph of when they were young. I think
Yeah.
it conveys the message of the 6 really well. And there's the little teddy bear look, and the kid's got the messy type hair as well. Love it.
I just think the 7 is so cool. Like, because it's like that kind of I've been overwhelmed with choice to a point where it's like warping your brain. Do you know what I mean? That's what that looks like. Bye, Moran.
See you, Moran.
I didn't realise Moran was an hour ahead of us.
Yeah. France, 1 hour.
I didn't know that. I thought we were in line with France.
No, France is 1 hour ahead.
There you go. You learn something new every day.
Most of Europe, well, not most of Europe, but that area of Europe is an hour. And then, have you got any courts that you like in the cups?
Yeah, I've got the 10 of cups though.
All right.
I like the 10. Not so much the kind of the cuppy constellations. I just like the wee bonfire. The kind of it's almost like the family around the bonfire exchanging stories type vibe that it has to it.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice. And yes, I do have a core. I've got the Queen of Cups. I think she's an absolute stunner.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous cup. I love the rain as well.
Yeah, it's so. I know Deanne absolutely adores this card. So I think this was the card that made her get this deck. So this card always makes me think of Deanne.
I like the king. I like you see how he's drinking the wine, and in his other hand is just pouring what he doesn't want.
Yeah.
It's like you can have this, I suppose.
What have you got next?
Wands.
Cool. Same. I've only got one wands card to talk about though.
Which is it?
The 5. And I think my 5 of wands might be different from yours. Yeah, this is mine.
Ah. Again, I'm just going to put you on large so I can see it. Okay. They spotlights.
No, I think do you know something? They might be, Simon. But the way that I see it is like it's like chemicals being
Yeah.
poured into like this kind of a beaker, and the 5 wands are in the beaker, and it's like a chemical reaction. So it is. And
Very creation of Rocky.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is. But it's when I first got this deck, I did not like this card. I was like, it's weird. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. And then I don't know, something that just clicked for me. I was like, right, it's a chemical reaction. It's there's a release of heat. There's like passions flying. There's lots happening. There's probably a wee bit of an explosion. But at the end of it, if you can kind of a power through that and see yourself through that, then you've got this new chemical compound that you've made that you can go and do something that none of the other like individual elements would have had. So yeah, I really like this card.
And I'm interested because again, I like the 6, but it's such a departure from the RWS. And I'm just interested to hear, how would you interpret this? Thinking of, you see, where I bring in this for me is more 6, as in the numerological association of harmony. I know there's victory as well, isn't in the 6, but and I suppose it could be victorious because they've got this nice big house on the hill. But how do you see this particular 6 of wands?
Well, I suppose first of all, it feels more like a 4 of wands to me, just
Okay.
because I like the. So if wands is like passion and things that were like enterprises, projects, passion projects, that type of thing. The house feels more like a kind of a right. This is where everything grounds to. This is like where everything stabilizes. So it just feels more 4 to me than 6. But yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think I've really ever given it that much thought, and I probably, to be honest, read it more like a 4 of wands than I do a 6. Like when it comes up, like now that I'm actually thinking about it.
Okay, that's
But yeah,
interesting.
I don't know. What about you? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think when I've seen that card, and then when I got this deck was before I was really into. I mean, I'd got some pip decks and things like that, but for me, if ever I turned over the 6 of wands for RWS, the first word that would always spring to mind is victory, and that sort of thing along those lines. But also 6 is about harmony, isn't it? After the disruption of the 5 and the change of the 5, and I
Yeah,
kind of looked at that as well. It just give me harmonious vibes. There's the
yeah,
house with the lights on. It looks quite inviting. It's at the top of a big hill. Kind of reminds me, when you go on those bus tours to go and see how the rich and famous live. I know it's not a huge mansion or anything like that, but just kind of like I've achieved something.
Yeah, yeah. It always puts me in mind of like, so in playing cards, your sixes are like they're lined up like the staves are here, and it's like it's creating a path forward. I think the sixes in playing cards are very much about progression and moving forward, and it's a real positive vibe. In the same way that the wands here almost create a bit of a path, a bit of a fence. They kind of like border the path up to the home. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few in this suit in particular, and the ones usually aren't necessarily my favorite. What am I trying to say? My favorite suit. You know, I always go with pentacles. I love the pentacles, and then I love the
Mhm.
cups. But in this deck in particular, I just think I love this version of the four.
That's the swords.
Oh, I've gone to the I meant the swords. I've just been saying wands. I've gone into swords now.
Yeah.
I'm on
Oh,
to
did you
swords.
not have more ones?
No,
Oh,
no, I've gone into swords ready. But I think because
right.
we're just talking about wands, I'm done with wands.
Right, cool.
And I meant to
Yeah,
say with swords, it's not a suit that I like. I never have many favourites.
right, okay.
It's
Got you.
cups and coins. Sorry, it's late.
No, you're okay, you're okay. No, I've got some swords here to talk about.
I've got loads in almost everyone in the what. See, I'm doing it again. Almost everyone in the swords, I just adore them, but I particularly like the four, and I love the five.
Right. Yeah. So I love the ace. I think the ace is really beautiful. I love the colours in it.
Yours
And
all
the way that
pink. Well, mine does on camera. Yeah.
the way that it has this kind of an aura about it as well, I just think it's really cool. The five, is your five of swords the same as mine?
No, and I'm
Okay.
glad because I love this. Just check the comments. I've just seen the comments. I'll come back to that comment. Um, I love my five. Look at
Oh,
his face,
oh yeah,
but it's got a real urban feel to it. You know, with the cityscape in the background, and
yep,
love it.
nice. I actually really like my five of swords as well. Um, so there's a book and it says mistakes on it, and the swords are kind of a driven into that,
Solutions.
and then they're writing solutions. So it's like learning from your mistakes, using your mind, using your kind of a logical brain to find solutions to problems, that kind of thing. So yeah, I really like it.
Sorry, David, I'm confusing everyone. I'd moved to swords, but we're still saying wands. Yeah.
Um,
The seven, I think, is simplistic but beautiful.
yeah, does it not make you wonder where how he's got those swords secured up there though?
How he's got them what? What you
Secured
mean the
up
one?
there?
You seen the one coming from under the gown?
Yeah, that looks
Balance, keeping them up.
painful. um, what else have you got?
I mean, one of my favourite cards. I think it is just beautiful. Just the colours, and I mean, it's very typical, isn't it? Very typical RWS image, really, for the eight.
Yeah,
I like the nine. I think that blue on orange is stunning. It makes them look electric and stand out.
yeah,
Oh, beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, much as well.
You got the 10?
No.
Oh, I do. I think this is a beautiful 10.
It requires a lot of study. I can see it. It takes me a long while to kind of see what's. I can't make out the image that easily. I can see the blue swords piercing, but
Yeah,
I can't really make it out.
I guess I'm the same, but I quite like it.
It's quite abstract.
It looks almost like there's a body that's covered with a sheet and the swords are going into it.
Right. Oh, like in a shroud?
Yeah.
Okay. I could get behind that. I look at it and I think, that's just confusing.
And I mean, that. Oh, right. Okay.
Which one you got? Queen. Yeah.
Queen.
I just love that. Just power. Complete power. I love it.
Yeah.
And you know the page in the RWS where it's kind of almost like a swinging motion, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just think it's fierce. Absolutely fierce. Yeah, do you want to talk about your queen?
I've no words. Nothing. I don't know what to say. I just think I just love it. I think it's brilliant. I wish every Queen of Swords was more like this. I don't know if I love her crown. She's got like these tiny wee swords on her crown, and I just feel like that probably wasn't necessary. Does your Queen of Swords look like this as well?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, I could have done without the wee mini sword crown, but other than that, I think it's stunning. Because like she's sometimes deemed as like the Queen of Swords is like the kind of the lonely queen, or the kind of a quarrelsome queen. And she's definitely got like some pretty strong boundaries. She's got a force field around her. Do you know what I mean? Ten of Swords is different in the third edition. That's interesting.
I'd love to see. I'm gonna have to go and watch a walkthrough. I've resisted doing it because I know that I'll end up just hitting the buy button. I can't do that at the minute. But I'm gonna have to get it. While my deck's still in order, I think I need to watch a walkthrough and do a comparison.
Okay. Have you got any more swords, or are we on to pentacles now?
No, I'm on to pentacles.
Right. So, I don't know about you. I start with the ace. I think this is a beautiful ace.
I do. And don't you think it's really retro? It kind of reminds me of decks like, I don't know, like Robin Wood, or like a 60s, 70s kind of vibe to it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's just really striking.
Yours seems richer in colour.
Do you think?
Yeah.
It's just red.
Yeah, your yellow seems more yellow than mine. Could just be the lighting, I suppose, but...
Yeah, maybe. I feel like my camera's actually picking the colours up quite well, actually.
But again, you know, the ace is about the seed, isn't it? The start of something. And I love that. In the middle, we've got that little mound of earth, and then this little sapling.
I love that for that, because again, like when I'm reading, that's something that's quite important for me with the ace. Is like, this isn't you winning the lottery. Do you know what I mean? This isn't you set for life. This is you maybe getting like a small inheritance, or a small, something. There's like a small something, and you need to take that and be sensible with it, and actually build something and make something of it. You're not being guaranteed, like handed everything on a silver platter. you're being given a seed that you then need to go and do the work with. So that this is just like perfect.
Yeah.
Mm.
Queen of Cups said the new Ten of Swords is like the same image, so it is a body wrapped in a sheet, but it's side on.
Okay.
I wonder if they changed it to make it more obvious.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Have you got the two?
No, I haven't got the two.
I do, just because, like, again, like my kind of interpretation of the Two of Pentacles is like Two of Pentacles is like when you're trying to do too much at once and you really need to stop and reprioritize. And this person's carrying, they're carrying these pentacles as though they're plates, but they're trying to carry them at once. You can see that the room around them is an absolute riot, because they're clearly just trying to do too many tasks at once, and they need to just stop, slow down, and focus on one thing at a time, which is exactly what the Two of Pentacles is for me.
Yeah. I mean, I love the Pentacle suit anyway, but I think the 4 is beautiful. I love that the 4 of Pentacles here is just that time out in nature. You know, the 4 of Pentacles gets a bad rap, doesn't it? I think it's very often misinterpreted. I don't see it as like a miser. I see it somebody that's trying to be resourceful and having stability over their kind of material possessions and finance and things like this. But she is so grounded. If it is a she, they just amongst the trees in nature, totally grounded, very earthy.
It does give me Four of Swords vibes, which is, I think, maybe why I've not picked it.
Kind of like for the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't dislike it. I think it's a really nice card.
I see it as just, I get where you're coming from. I'd see it as very grounded and very earthy. Beautiful. Yeah. Have you gone for 5? I think you will have gone for 5.
No, I've not. I've only got one left. So I have. I've not gone for the 5. Is your 5 the same as mine? This?
Yeah. Very interesting take on the 5, because you know 5 of Pentacles is something that's always been an important card for me. But I just love that they're digging for something that's they're not even seeing. You know,
Yeah.
they've got this thought of this buried treasure, and it's in the dirt that they've already excavated, and they're digging and digging in search of something that they just need to turn around and see. Kind of reminds me of the story of the alchemist. That's why I like it. You know, going in search of treasure when you've already got it.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, that is a nice card.
I love the 6 as well. You know, again, when we think of the traditional 6, but these outstretched hands, we don't know who they are, you know, but they're giving out their wealth, their coins.
Yeah. It's quite a simple 6, isn't it? Simple but effective.
Yeah, same with the 7. Simple but beautiful. Really, really
I love
beautiful.
the colours in the 7. The colour that looks like a cherry blossom tree to me.
Yeah, it does.
Really nice. The 8 is the one, my last one that I picked.
Okay.
Again, it is very simple, but you can see the kind of a practice makes perfect. So you can see each time he's done it, each pentacle gets a bit better every time.
Your colour is really vivid compared to mine.
Okay.
Yours is like a pinky purple, isn't it? Whereas this is like a grey purple.
Oh yeah, my purple's quite vibrant here.
Yeah, and this is up close. Look, it's like a grey purple. Yours is really nice. I do like yours.
Yeah. in the same way that the blue and orange, they're opposite colours. Yellow and purple are opposite colours, so the pentacles really stand out really nicely in this.
Yeah. And then I've got one last one, which is the Knight of Pentacles. I just think that is such a gorgeous knight card. That beautiful stag, so majestic. I love that it's walking away. I just think it's simple but powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's lovely.
There we are. Any closing thoughts? And we also want to throw it open and ask people in the chat if they've got this deck or what they think of the deck. Share your thoughts on it. I wrote down, because while I was putting it together, I was trying to. So I just kind of put my takeaway for this deck. I love its depth, unique visual language, vivid imagery, and ability to support intuitive readings. I found it powerful right away. You know, I've heard others say that it takes them time with this deck, or it has took them time to work with it, or to bond with it. But for me, it was just an instant connection, and that's when I know that, you know, I've got a deck that's meant to be in my collection. When you have that powerful into it, and it challenged me. Oh, I like that.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's one of the things that I love most about the deck is the colours. I just love that it seems to do lots of things at once. It is very RWS, in my opinion. Lots of the minors do really kind of they're clearly inspired by the RWS. But at the same time, it's definitely different enough that it, you know, makes you think. There's certain cards that really make you kind of look at the cards differently. But it's RWS enough where if you're fairly familiar with the RWS system, then you will be able to read with this deck. It's like I was saying before, it has a dark feel, but also has a really bright feel to it. And it's unique as much as it's like very RWS. I don't think I've got any other decks in my collection that are like it. I think this is very unique in my collection. So yeah, I just love it. And we've not touched much on, like, I'll see if I can. So like the courts are like have this kind of a color coded system to them. So you all of the Pentacles courts are this yellow. Let me see, is that you've got your Wands courts are this green, and like red for the cups, and swords I think are blue. So like the use of color is just a total, you know, thing unto itself in this deck that we've not really touched much on, or had much of a chance to show. But how the spectrum of color is really cool. So yeah, I think that's my final thoughts.
Yeah, and even though the colours, you know, are uniformed when it comes to like the courts, what I love about it as well is because obviously once you shuffle a deck and you lay down your spreads, it's just that it's just those colours and how they interact with each other, isn't it? That's really striking.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a few people going to bed. It's 20 past 10. Okay, so any other final thoughts? I can't see if there's anybody put anything in the chat about the deck or whether they've got it. Or I guess with it being an indie deck, it's not a deck that a lot of people would have anyway, is it really?
Yeah.
I saw Tammy Pie's on about trying to get another edition because hers is back in a previous abode.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think so. Tammy Pie saying she's got the edition I've got. So this is the second edition Tammy Pie. Simon's got the first edition. and then there's like the Infinity edition, which is the kind of a silver one, and then there's like a new edition that's only come out in the last year or so. That's got like all different kind of a colour themes to it. So go onto his website or just look up Tarot of the Holy Spectrum, and have a look at the different ones that are available. But yeah.
Cool. So next month, are we sticking with the same as in first Thursday of the month?
I think so, yeah.
That will be the 5th again, because February and March always have the same days if there's 28 in the month in it. So that'll be Thursday the 5th of March.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Do you want to tell people what we're going to be doing?
Yeah. We are going to be reviewing the Fyodor Pavlov tarot. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Are you?
Yeah.
Are you a big fan?
I am, but I'm going to be completely honest and transparent. I've hardly used it. So the great thing is with doing Throwback is I'll dig it out before. In fact, I might even make it my deck of the month for March, because then I'll have at least I'll only have 4 days working with it, but I might start it a few days early. It's a gorgeous deck. It's beautiful. It was quite an investment as well for a mass market deck. I think at the time it was the most I'd ever spent on a mass market deck, but the
Okay.
quality is there.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I've not used it. I used it initially for a couple of weeks, and I don't think I've used it since. So when you suggested it, I was like, yeah, that'll be a good one, because it will force me to connect with it.
To work with it. Yeah. To be honest, I'm similar to you.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's one that I don't reach for as much, and I think it might be because of it's like a very muted colour palette. If there's even colour in it at all, is it? I forget.
It's like there's like pale blues. Is it pale blues and greens? And it's almost like not a grayscale, but it's almost like a sketch deck with just plain colours accenting it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that might be part of my reason for not reaching for it more, is because I do like colours. You laugh at it.
David is put. It's because you've got 1,100 decks on. There is some truth in that. It is hard to keep working with decks if you've got that many to rotate.
No, who said that? David. No, David. We don't talk about a gentleman's number. That's not something that we talk about.
Yeah, we don't talk about the size of my collection. Just to say, it's really good to see David again. I saw in a comment earlier put that he's had a 6-month gap, and we was in Cup of Catch Up Cards a few weeks ago, and everybody was asking about him. So it's just nice to have you back with us, David, and your humour has been missed. So
yeah, it's lovely to see you, David.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. It's been fun to hang out for the last hour and a half.
It has. It has. Thank you very much for your lovely company, Simon. I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, and you. It's good to be back and doing these again. So.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks to everyone in the chat for joining in and stuff. It's been great.
Yeah. And have you got anything in particular coming up?
Well, not so much on YouTube. Do have a couple of videos coming out, but nothing. I've got a market. I'm reading on Sunday coming, so in a few days' time, I'm doing in-person readings at a market in Glasgow city centre. So if anybody's local, come and say hello. It's at the Haberdashery. It's called Glasgow Witchy Bazaar, and I'll be there from 12 p.m. till 4 p.m. But yeah, apart from that, not really a lot. What about you?
Well, I've got a lot of spotlight decks to get through, and a couple of decks coming in the post. I've started a new series from the Hermit shelf, so that there'll be a second episode of that on Sunday. That's a new weekly thing.
Right.
And I'm interviewing somebody next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, next Saturday, unknown in the tarot community so far, but is been in the world of playing cards and reaching out into tarot and about to start a new Kickstarter campaign. And
Ooh.
Alf and Kasha from Tarot Map over the last couple of months have been giving him some kind of practical advice and guidance. And then he really wanted to kind of join the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. And
Right.
I said, why don't I have you on and let everybody know about your deck? Because it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, and is an English person, but now living in Japan. So, so I'm going to have him on next Saturday and do an interview with him, and so he can promote
Right.
it just before his Kickstarter goes live.
Brilliant. That sounds really exciting. And is that someone who you say that they're more playing card inclined? Is that someone that reads with playing cards, or they've created playing card decks, or
We've had lots of playing card decks, luxury playing card decks out,
Ooh.
but has tried their hand at a tarot deck. And I'd seen some images on Instagram, and then Kasha kind of hooked us up, and we've been chatting. So, and it was just today I said, look, do you want to, and the interview, because I always do them live, for him will be 4 a.m. and he's getting up.
Oh, geez, all right. Well, if you can get up at 4 a.m., folks, then I think everybody else can just blooming well be there. So no excuses.
Yeah.
Get your
Well,
alarm set, get your arses there.
yeah. So that would be nice. But yeah. All right then. So see everybody later. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
See you
Thanks,
soon.
everyone. Bye.